A few hours before Donald Trump's acceptance speech, the nominee spoke with Sunday Morning senior contributor Ted Koppel. They discussed Ted Cruz's primetime address that did not endorse Trump.
Wednesday night should have been Mike Pence's night. Instead, what's everybody talking about the next day?
That Ted Cruz got booed off the stage.
Exactly.
And he did get booed off the stage.
Right.
And I think that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned because, I let him speak. I gave him a home because I defeated him soundly. I mean, by millions and millions of votes. It wasn't like it was close. And I gave him a home. I said, if you'd like to speak, speak.
Right.
And frankly, he was fine. I mean, nothing earth-shaking. And the arena erupted in boos toward the end of his speech because they saw he wasn't going to endorse. And I thought that was a beautiful thing. And I thought, actually, it was beautiful in a different way, Ted. I thought it showed great unity. I think the party is very unified, other than a few people, that most of whom I beat.
Ted Koppel joins us now from Cleveland. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning, Charlie. I don't think that Ted Cruz is in line for Secretary of State.
Yes, right. That's a good guess.
Let's talk about the speech first, Ted. Your reaction, your sense of what Donald Trump either accomplished or did not accomplish.
I think it was an effective speech. It was not a speech that had any soaring rhetoric to it, but in terms of sort of playing to the Trump crowd, I think it was extraordinarily effective. The big question is going to be whether it plays to those people who have not yet made up their minds and whether he's going to be able to get any disaffected Bernie Sanders voters.
Many of the headlines, though, Ted, this morning are calling it dark, grim, without optimism. And I know you talked to him about entering a new stage of the campaign. What does that mean? Do you think this is the tone?
Well, I asked him whether it was going to be a new stage in the campaign, but I must tell you, after listening to that speech last night, and indeed listening to him, I don't think that we're going to see a very different Donald Trump. I don't think Donald Trump, quite frankly, is disciplined enough to keep delivering the same message that is handed to him. He's going to be ad-libbing, and when Donald Trump ad-libs, it gets interesting.
You've covered several of these political conventions. How did this one compare?
Several, Nora, as in 26, yes. I think in some respects this was maybe the least disciplined of them all. When I say disciplined, and it was one of the points I raised with Mr. Trump, so each night the theme that was supposed to be ended up not being.
Is Donald Trump speaking, though, to a great a concern among the American public about the way things are? And could he somehow put himself in front of that movement?
I think clearly he is, Charlie. The only question is whether the movement is more than what we have seen thus far. I'll be the first to admit, and I suspect the three of you will join me, that if someone had said to us a year ago, would we expect to be here today talking about Donald Trump's victory? I don't think any one of us would have predicted this a year ago. So I'm not about to predict that he cannot expand his base, but if he wants to win the presidency, he's going to have to. That means appealing to moderates. It means appealing to disaffected Democrats. Was that the speech to do it last night? Clearly, he and his advisors think so.
Thanks, Ted. You can watch Ted's full interview with Donald Trump this weekend on Sunday Morning here on CBS.